Welcome to the channel. Sherman set the Wayback Machine to 2004. The poker boom is in full swing and Hollywood wants in on the action. They start creating a lot of poker content because we like poker and we like our celebrity worship. Perfect match. Unfortunately for Hollywood, there's plenty of celebrities who enjoy a good vice or two, and poker being one of them. I remember playing at the Palms around this time and there being a buzz in the poker room because Shannon Elizabeth had recently played there. Her name was just one of several mentioned since Celebrity Poker Showdown filmed in the Palms recently, and a lot of the celebrities stopped off and played in the poker room. More on Shannon in a minute, but first, the idea for this video came from comments from viewers like you. People who suggested, hey, why don't you do a celebrity edition? And so this is the celebrity edition. I thought it was a great idea, and we're going to run with it. Also, I do want to mention that, we all have our favorite celebrities, and I'm sure some of yours may or may not have made this list. This is, Celebrity Edition 1. We can always do a Celebrity Edition 2. So, if you have a celebrity in mind, let me know just like you do the regular poker players, and I'll be happy to add them to a future episode. But this is right now, this is just a special edition, and we'll see how this one goes. And if you do like the video, appreciate it if you click on like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It really does help us. YouTube loves it when we get such interaction, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. Most people know Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie, Scary Movie, and a couple of the Jay and Silent Bob films. When I think of Shannon, I think about playing against her at the Palms, her many TV poker appearances, and she did a voiceover on one of the Leisure Suit Larry games. Shannon was born in Houston on September 7th, 1973. She was raised in Waco, Texas, and was a serious tennis player who considered going pro before settling on a career first in modeling and then acting. I mentioned the role she's most well known for, but Shannon has an extensive list of credits. Her IMDb lists 59 acting roles and a couple of director and producer credits. Her poker accomplishments for a part-timer are almost as impressive. Beyond her appearances on various poker shows, Shannon is probably best known for taking third in the 2007 NBC National Heads Up Championship, losing out to eventual winner Paul Wasika. In 2022, she took second in the $5,000 Ante Up for Africa charity event at the World Series. Speaking of Africa, Shannon devotes a good deal of her time to animal rights causes. She runs her own foundation, and she splits her time between South Africa and the United States. One of my all-time favorites, James Woods, is known to boomers like me as a phenomenal actor from films such as Salvador, The Onion Field, and Once Upon a Time in America. Others also know him from Family Guy and as Mike Torino in GTA San Andreas. His career is so significant that any attempt to cover it in this video is pointless. I mean, Citizen Cone, Videodrome, Casino, the list goes on and on. Here's a fun fact. Woods has an IQ reported to be around 180. He's a certifiable genius. He went to MIT, but he didn't graduate because he wanted to pursue a career in acting. James popped up on several poker shows in the 2000s, including Celebrity Poker Showdown and Poker Royale, where he was the head of the James Woods gang. In 2022, he took 8th in the World Series 2500 9-game mix, 6-handed event. Today, James still plays poker and spends a great deal of time tweeting to his 3 million followers on Twitter. James is blunt when it comes to his politics and his tweets, but that's fine. He's a great actor, and I enjoy when he pops up on TV playing poker. Over the years, he's had many tournament cashes with several in WPT and WSOP events. I think I last saw him on TV on Poker Night in America, but TV or no TV, he still plays. Like many comedians, Brad Garrett got his start by hitting up clubs that offered open mic night. There, he perfected his craft and eventually got noticed after winning the first season of Star Search's comedy category in 1984. Garrett won $100,000 from Star Search, and we can only wonder how much of that went to poker. Garrett has the distinction of being one of the youngest comedians ever to appear on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show. Born on April 14, 1960 in Oxnard, California as Bradley Henry Gerstenfeld, Brad graduated from El Camino Royale High School and spent some time at UCLA before dropping out to focus on comedy. Fun fact, my Spanish book in high school was named El Camino Royale, the Royal Road. Okay, here's a pertinent fun fact. Are you a fan of the band ELO? I am. Did you know that Brad Garrett is on the back cover of the Discovery album? In 1989, the Las Vegas Review-Journal named him the best comedian working on the Strip. Garrett has had a long association with Las Vegas. His most recent venture was opening Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM Grand. Like everyone else in this list, Brad has had a long-time love of poker. His tournament stats are not as impressive as some of the other celebrities on this list, but to be fair to Brad, he has a very busy life away from poker and plays when he can. When he does, often it's on shows like Poker Night in America or in person for various charity events and room openings. For poker players and fans who don't pay any real attention to Hollywood, the name Jennifer Tilly is one they attribute almost entirely to poker. Tilly has been a long-time player and continues to be a presence at the tables. Before poker, Tilly was an accomplished actress with an Oscar nomination for her supporting role in Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway. Even since taking up poker, Tilly has had steady work in film, TV, and voiceovers. She's best known for the Chucky films, Liar Liar, Bound, and like James Woods, she's also appeared on Family Guy. Tilly was born Jennifer Ellen Chan in Los Angeles on September 16, 1958. Her younger sister is actress Meg Tilly. Jennifer developed an interest in acting while in high school in Canada. She received a degree in theater from Stevens College in Missouri. My first experience watching Tilly was on Cheers in 1986 when she played Frasier's date Candy. The interaction between Frasier and Candy is probably my favorite interaction of all from that long-time series. Fun fact, Tilly was married to the late great producer and fellow poker player Sam Simon between 1984 and 1991. That's the factual part. What's been speculation for decades is how much of the money he received from being a co-creator of The Simpsons went to her. Reports have said that she receives 30% of his share of the money that Fox pays his estate and to the other co-creators, Matt Groening and James L. Brooks. It would be safe to say it has amounted to tens of millions of dollars. In 2004, Jennifer began dating Unabomber Phil Locke. They are still together today. After she started to date Locke, Tilly became more serious about playing poker. In 2005, she won her only WSOP bracelet, the $1,000 ladies only event. Over the years, she's had several cashes in both WSOP and WPT events. Her tournament earnings, according to the Hendon Mob, are just north of $1 million. She's had a few cringe moments in televised cash games, but to her credit, she stepped up to the big table, playing high limits. And she held her own, and she's won some, and she's lost some. Today, she still acts and still plays. She recently was featured on the reboot of High Stakes Poker. Jennifer is entertaining and fun to have at any table. Let's hope she continues to play for many years. I miss Norm Macdonald. The deadpan-voiced Canadian comedian was the Weekend Update anchor on Saturday Night Live through most of the 1990s. He had his own TV show, and he starred in several films. His stand-up comedy remains some of the best I've ever seen. Norm was born in Quebec, Canada. His family lived in Quebec until Norm was in high school when they moved to Ottawa. Norm began his comedy career in the clubs of Ottawa and eventually moved on to Montreal. Like Brad Garrett, Norm appeared on Star Search. Unlike Brad, who won the $100,000 top prize, Norm completely bombed. If you get a chance, listen to Norm narrate his autobiography on Audible. It's called Based on a True Story, Not a Memoir by Norm Macdonald. If you're a Norm fan, the section on his Star Search experience is absolutely hilarious. Fun fact, Norm was highly successful doing Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, but was removed from the job because he would not stop doing O.J. Simpson is a murderer jokes. NBC executive Don Ohlmeyer was a friend and golfing buddy of Simpson who reportedly threw the jurors a party after they acquitted his friend O.J. Ohlmeyer denied that was the reason for firing both Norm and the writer who helped Norm write the weekly Simpson jokes. It's fair to question why I would include Norm on this list. I mean, his tournament poker accomplishments really weren't that much. I think he won the Bellagio $1,000 weekly event once. I mean, who hasn't done that? He's appeared on TV a handful of times. So, it's a legitimate question, right? Well, Norm made the list because I know just how much cash he played, how popular he was, and how much of a fixture he was at casinos in Vegas and L.A. and Atlantic City. He was a self-described degenerate with a lot of leagues. Norm was just he was a great guy. He was a guy you won at the table. So he was a very popular guy, even though his stats don't really show it, as far as his results, but he was a very popular guy. So that's why he's on the list. Norm Macdonald passed away on September 14th, 2021 after a long battle with cancer. Probably the best known on this list is Ben Affleck. The two-time Oscar winner is a longtime poker player and is best known for his very public accomplishment of winning the California State Poker Championship and being a regular at the type of underground celebrity high-stakes games that were featured in the film Molly's Game. Affleck was born on August 15, 1972 in Berkeley, California. His parents worked in theater for a time and encouraged Ben and younger brother Casey to pursue careers in the arts. Ben did pursue theater and during high school became friends with fellow student and actor Matt Damon. Affleck had several smaller roles and a few film parts before the script he and Damon wrote for Good Will Hunting was made into a film that Affleck also acted in. One Oscar later, and both Affleck and Damon moved on to become megastars. The tournament highlight of Ben's career has to be the 2004 victory in the main event of the California State Poker Championship. Away from poker, Affleck is well known as someone who enjoys gambling. Gossip rags tried to claim he had an addiction after he was banned from playing blackjack at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Vegas. Ben admits that the story about being backed off is true, but he's not addicted to gambling. I'm not going to overanalyze in this space, but you know how it goes, right? If you have a good run, casinos generally want you to come back, especially if you're a high roller, because they know if you keep coming back, that they'll get the money back eventually from you. And especially if you're a celebrity. We know plenty of celebrities that are degens that, that dump a lot of money at the casinos. Probably what happened, I don't know, but probably what happened is that, Ben is a smart guy. He's, maybe he got bored. Maybe he decided, you know what, I'm going to see if this counting thing actually works. And, maybe he started counting and, they backed him off for that, which they will do. It doesn't matter who you are. But if you're a celebrity, they keep wanting you to come back. So they're not going to just, tell you, okay, it's time to go. You're winning too much money. It doesn't work that way. As you should probably know, Ben is remarried to Jennifer Lopez, and he's still making films. Air, the story of how Nike landed Michael Jordan, is already out in theaters and will be available on Amazon Prime in mid-May. As for poker, who knows? Ben might pop up in a poker room at some point, or he might just continue to play the underground Hollywood games. So what do you think? Yay or nay on the celebrities? I kind of like the idea of mixing in a theme episode or two in amongst the other episodes. But, as always, I value your opinion. So like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notify button. But comment is the really cool one that I like. I like to hear from people. So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.